Hey everyone, Namaste. Welcome on my channel. This is the second video in this quick look series where we are first discussing the prehistoric sites. Now, like I have already mentioned in my first video, this is basically it's not an official launch of the channel, but I'm uploading these small videos for my regular students on Unacademy who are going to give the examination of NTAUGCNET, which is going to happen on 29th. So before moving forward and talking about some certain prehistoric sites, just quick info about me. My name is Chandra Tiwari Om and I teach on Unacademy, and I'm a regular or as a plus educator on Unacademy. I teach history for NTAUGCNET and SET examination. If you download the Unacademy app, you will find my profile something like this. You can scroll through this profile and you can see the special sessions. Under special session, there are many classes you will find, and all those classes, they are free for you guys. If you are not on plus platform, there still you can watch those classes. uh, Also, if you're new on this platform, on Unacademy platform, so it might need a code to unlock the classes. You can apply this code, that is Om Tiwari. If you apply this code, that class, it will get unlocked. If you want to subscribe to the plus platform, then again you can apply this code Om Tiwari. You'll get 10% discount on the overall fees. Now, please remember this Om Tiwari, this code is not case sensitive. One more thing is that for my regular NTAUGCNET and SET students, I have made a Telegram channel. You can find that Telegram channel either by searching this Ohm's history. If you search in your Telegram app Ohm's history, you'll find my channel, or you can just type this t.me/history and you will find my group or that Telegram group. You can join this group. In this group, I regularly post about my classes. I give update about my classes on Unacademy platform, even on YouTube. Free classes and paid classes both. So you can join this group or Telegram channel. Also, like if you are new here on my channel, hit the like button, subscribe the channel, and also press that bell icon so that whenever I upload any video, you get the notification. Now, moving forward, in the last session, we have talked about prehistoric sites. We have started talking about prehistoric sites, and we have discussed about the Paleolithic sites and Mesolithic sites. We have talked about all the like Paleolithic phases, like the lower, middle, and upper Paleolithic phases. In this session, we are going to talk about Neolithic sites. Now, while discussing about the Neolithic sites, we are going to discuss, like, these are some of the important Neolithic sites which you are seeing on the map here. We have certain sites which are in our northwestern portion. We'll talk about them. Then we have certain sites in North India. Then we have certain sites in your central India and eastern India, then northeastern India, and then we have many Neolithic sites in South India. We are going to discuss about these sites one by one. So let's get to it. At first, we are going to talk about the Northwest India. Basically, when I'm talking about Northwest India, we are basically talking about Northwest Indian subcontinent. So if we talk about like Northwest Indian subcontinent, guys, so we have like so many important sites. Like there is this very first Mehergarh site. In fact, it is considered that from Mehergarh only, like, we find the earliest evidence of agricultural production. But apart from Mehergarh, we have the sites like Rahman Dheri. We have the sites like Rahman Dheri. Again, we have the site like Gumla, the site like Rana Ghundai. We have the site like Kili Gul Muhammad, that site. We have also the site called Amri. Okay, and we have another site that is your Mundigak. Now this Mundigak site, it's in Afghanistan. Other than that, Kiligul Muhammad, Amri, Mehergarh, Rahman Dheri, Gumla, Rana Ghundai, all these sites, they are in Pakistan. These sites, they are quite important for us. They belong to your Neolithic phase. Now let's look into these sites one by one. So we have at first, like, we are going to discuss about, just a moment. Yeah, so at first we are going to discuss about the site of Mehergarh. Now this Mehergarh, again, like I have mentioned, this site is very important for us because it is this site where the habitation began around 7000 BCE and it continued till your 3000 BCE, and here we find various phases. Now, like archaeologists, they have divided these phases differently. Some say in Mehergarh we have 7 phases. Some say like we have the 4 phases. For our practical purpose here, we are going to divide the phases of Mehergarh into 4, where the first two phases they belong to Neolithic period. Okay, the first two phases 1 and 2 they belong to your Neolithic phases. Your period 3 it belongs to Neolithic and Chalcolithic phase, and then comes your period 4. That's like a kind of a pre-Harappan site. Okay, now this Mehergarh, this site it was discovered by J.F. Jarridge. This name is very important because Mehergarh, this site is very important. We have seen questions related to Mehergarh many a times in our NTAUGCNET examination. So J.F. Jarridge, he is kind of very important for us. Jean-Francois Jarridge, he was a French historian, French archaeologist who found this site in 1974. So don't forget his name. So yeah. In Mehergarh, we find the earliest evidence of agriculture, wheat and barley. They have been produced here in Mehergarh. Apart from that, in period second, we start finding the crops being diversified. Even cotton cultivation have been found here at Mehergarh in the period second Neolithic level. We find the cotton cultivation. We will find like grapes. They have been produced here. Apart from that, like we also have found the seeds of bear and various dates from Mehergarh site. Various kinds of animal bones of wild animals and also the bones of domesticated animals have been found from here. We do find granaries from the period 1 only in Mehergarh. We find granaries as well because it was an agricultural settlement, so we need to store the cereals. So we do find that. Even we find from period first, we find even burials and all. The bones were often covered with red ochre, suggesting some sort of fertility beliefs being emerging here in your Mehergarh. We have the fertility beliefs emerging here. They have been like the bones from the period first. They have been covered with red ochre. We also find grave goods like basket, like food offerings, even ornaments. They have been found. From grave goods, we can actually conclude that there was some sort of long distance exchange happening here. Some long distance exchanges they have been happening because some of the things in the grave goods they were not locally produced. Also, various kinds of crafts they emerged towards the third phase, the period fourth. The fourth phase of your Mehergarh, it gives us a further expansion of the settlement and diversification of agriculture and crafts, and some like whether we find different kind of potteries, decorated potteries, some sort of cultic significance though also emerge from Mehergarh area. So this Mehergarh area, it becomes very important for us. Then we have another area, another site which is quite important for us. That's site of Kiligul Muhammad. Near Kiligul Muhammad, we have another site, guys, which is your Dam Sadat. So Kiligul Muhammad and Dam Sadat, they are like the nearby sites and they are important for us. Kiligul Muhammad, it's in Quetta Valley. It's in Quetta Valley, Kiligul Muhammad, and here also we find various occupations ascribed to your Neolithic time period. Then we have another site in your Pakistan area, or basically the Afghanistan area, that is your site of Mundigak. Okay, Mundigak site, it is located in Afghanistan, southeast Afghanistan. It's near Arghandab river. Arghandab river. If you forget the name of this river, that's okay because it's not that much important. But Mundigak, it's a like major Neolithic site, southeast Afghanistan, and it gives us like various vessels. It gives us various huts. earth remain have been found here, and we know like Mundika, it had the connection with the mature phase of your like Harappan. Then if we moving towards some other sites, so we have the sites of Rana Ghundai, but apart from Rana Ghundai, we have also the site of Sar Jungle, an important site, Sar Jungle. Then we have a site of Dabarkot, and then we have the site of Rana Ghundai. Rana Ghundai, it is also like the Neolithic phase has been divided from 1 to 3 periods, again not very important, but this site is it's found in Pakistan. All these sites which I have mentioned here, all of them, they are found in Pakistan: Rana Ghundai, Dabarkot, Sar Jungle, and all these sites, they are important Neolithic sites for us. Moving on, we have the sites of Gumla and Rahman Dheri. Gumla, it's in Gomal Valley. This Kumla site, it's in Gomal Valley, and here also it's a very small site, but small settlement have been found here. Rahman Dheri is also an important site, which gives us which had the habitation from 3400 to 2100 BCE. Again, like this time period, it's not that much important, but yeah, it's a important Neolithic site for us. Just name is important. Another site which could be remembered here is that the site of Saraikola site in your northwest Indian subcontinent. Yeah, so these are certain sites. To give you guys a brief kind of revision, like we have the sites of Mehergarh, very very important. J.F. Jarris, 1974, he found that site. Then we have the Kilikul Muhammad and Dam Sadat. Then we have Sar Jungle, Dabarkot, Rana Ghundai. These are the sites. Then we have Gumla, we have Rahman Dheri, and we have the site of Saraikola. Moving towards another site which we cannot forget, it's the site of Amri, again in Pakistan. This is also a Neolithic site. Okay, one more thing, guys, is that when you study your Indus Valley civilization or Harappan civilization, you study about the periodization of Harappan civilization, and in that we have the Schaeffer's periodization. And in Schaeffer's periodization, we find various eras he have divided to understand your Harappan civilization in more organic manner. So he has given one age that is called as regionalization age or regionalization phase. So there are many such cultures which we are discussing here in your northwestern Indian subcontinent. Many Neolithic cultures, they are the part of your regionalization phase, like Amri culture, like the culture in Mehergarh, the very first phase, or the cultures in Balakot. Okay, they are your they belong to regionalization phase. Anyway, scratch that. We have Amri, it's also a Neolithic site in your northwest India. Now moving forward, moving towards central India. When I'm talking about central India, guys, so basically I'm gonna talk about the Neolithic of southern Uttar Pradesh. Central India, we are basically talking about southern UP, and primarily we are going to talk about Balan Valley. We're going to talk about Balan Valley because we are basically talking about the Vindhyan fringes of your southern Uttar Pradesh. So we have very important or many important sites from this area. We have the site of Koldeva. We have the site of Koldeva. Koldeva, nearby Koldeva, at another bank, we find another site. The name of that site is Lahura Dev. And this Lahura Dev site, guys, it is considered as where we find the earliest evidence of rice cultivation. Earliest evidence of rice cultivation have been found from Lahura Dev. So if question comes and Lahura Dev is in the option, then you are gonna take your Lahura Dev, and if it's not in the option, then Koldeva is the option. We know that it's known as the earliest site of paddy cultivation. One more thing, Lahura Dev, here the paddy cultivation, it's considered that it begins somewhere contemporary to your agricultural cultivation, which we find in Mehergarh area, so around 7th millennium BCE only. Okay, another site which have been found apart from Koldeva, it's your Mahagarh area. This Mahagar site, again very important site. So Kordiva and Mahagar, both these sites, they belong to your Balan Valley. They belong to your Balan Valley. Like we find various kinds of like tools, artifacts related to your Neolithic time period. Also, your animal domesticated bones, agricultural settlements, and all those things have been found from these areas. Other area from Balan Valley only, like we find Chopani Mando. This Chopani Mando, it become very important for us, because here in Chopani Mando we find three phases, three sequences here. First is Epipaleolithic. Epipaleolithic is like that transitionary phase between Paleolithic and Mesolithic, that's called as Epipaleolithic. Then we also find the sequences from Mesolithic, and even the sequences from Neolithic, or sometimes it is called as Proto-Neolithic. So all these three phases, the Paleolithic, Mesolithic, and Neolithic, have been found from Chopani Mando. That's why this site become quite important for us. Do not forget it. Then moving towards other sites in this area. So we have like I'm moving towards MP, Madhya Pradesh. So we have the site of Kanjan. Kanjan is in Son Valley. Like till now we were discussing about the Balan Valley sites. Now it's in Son Valley side. The factory site, Kanjan. So yeah, this is an important site. Please like keep this thing in your mind. Moving towards other areas of Neolithic sites. So like we have North India. So if we are talking about like North Indian Neolithic sites, so primarily we are looking towards Kashmir Valley. So we have many sites in Kashmir Valley which are very important for us. Like we have the site of Burzahum, we have the site of Gufkaral, Burzahum, Gufkaral. We have the site of Kanishkapur. These are some like important Neolithic site. We have also the sites like Gurhoma, Sangri, Damodar. You do not need to remember them. Now, some of the characteristic of Kashmiri Neolithic sites, it like we find the absence of any pre-Neolithic artifacts, like absence of microliths. We do not find Mesolithic phase in any Neolithic sites of Kashmir. Also, like these sites, they are known for their pit dwelling. These sites, they are also known for their bone tools. In fact, your Burzahum, it's known for its large amount of bone and like fish bone tools and other kind of bone tools. We also find various animal burials, including the dog burials. Dog with their masters or dog alone, they have been buried. So pit dwelling and dog burials and bone tools, okay, and even the harvesters, they become like quite important kind of markers of the sites of North India or the Kashmir Valley. Also, like if we talk about some of these sites one by one, so like if I talk about Burzahum, this site is like Gufkaral is important site. We have talked about like, but if we talk about like Burzahum, now Burzahum site, it gives us all the necessary markers which we have related to Neolithic phase of Kashmir Valley. But apart from that, in Burzahum, we also find like a cultivation of wheat, barley, lentils. They have been done here on a stone slab. On a stone slab, we find an engraving. We find an engraving on the stone slab in Burzahum. That stone slab is it depicts a hunting scene which basically represent two people. They are hunting a deer or an antler. They are like accompanied by their dogs, and we find two suns here. The two suns, they have been depicted here. Now it's very interesting kind of engraving which we find from Burzahum. Sometimes artists, they say that Burzahum, or this engraving which we find at Burzahum, it's the only and the earliest human evidence of the activity called supernova, because in the supernova, when the star dies, it shines brighter, and we find like even it's like a there are two suns in the sky. One more thing from Buddha's home is that we find horn deity there, and horn deity which have been found from Buddha's home, they represent or they are similar to your Portdigian horn deity. That means like the people from Buddha's home, they have their connections with the Harappan or the pre-Harappan sites. Okay, if we talk about like some other sites, like moving away from Kashmir, then we have certain sites in Swat Valley. In Swat Valley, we have certain sites like which are like Swat Valley. I'm talking about basically the Ghaligai caves. The Ghaligai caves. This gives us some Neolithic evidences. North India की ही हम बात कर रहे हैं. In Neolithic Neolithic time period से related, in Ladakh also we find a site. The name of that site is Giyak. The site is Giyak. Moving forward, we are going to talk about the next is like Neolithic cultures of mid Ganga Valley. So if we talk about like Neolithic cultures of mid Ganga Valley, so we have the sites, cultural sites like Chiran. Now this Chiran site, it's in Bihar. This Chiran is also known for its bone implements. So important site, important Neolithic site. Then we have the site of another site which is quite important. It's your Sohgaura. This Sohgaura site is basically, it's in UP, Gorakhpur district, Sohgaura, Neolithic site. Then we have another site which is of some importance for us, that is the site of Senwar. This Senwar again, it's in Rohtas district of Bihar. The Neolithic site, a very important site. In fact, both Chiran and your Senwar, they give us bone implements. Both Chiran and Senwars, they give us bone implements. Okay, so another site, अगर हम मिड गंगा वैली की बात करें तो we have Taradi. Sorry, this Taradi. This Taradi, it's in Bihar. Again, Gaya district. This Taradi is in Bihar. Okay. Moving forward, we have the sites in Eastern India. So we have certain sites like site of Kuchai, site of Golbai Sasan, Kuchai, Golbai Sasan. So Kuchai and Golbai Sasan, both of them, they are in Odisha. We have also certain sites in West Bengal, like we have Pandu Raja TB, this site. Then we have the site of Bharatpur, important because question aa chuka hai is pe, Bharatpur. Then we have the site of Mahistal. These sites, they are in West Bengal. We have one site called as Barudi. This site is in Jharkhand. So these are some of the important sites we find in our Eastern India. Okay, now moving towards the Neolithic sites of Northeast India. So we have the Northeast sites. They are quite important for us. Their names are quite important for us. So like we have certain sites in Assam. So the name of the sites of Assam is Daojali Harding. Then we have the site of Tarutaru. Then we have the site of Marakdola. We have one site in Manipur, becomes important site for us. Manipur, the name is Napchik. This site is Napchik. Then we have one site in your Meghalaya as well. The name of that Meghalaya site is Painthor Langten. Painthor Langten. That's the site in Meghalaya. So the Dajali Harding, Saratoru, Maraktola, that's in Assam, Napchik, that's in Manipur. Meghalaya, we have Painthor Langten. I'm so sorry for my writings. It's like very quick sessions. Like after the exam ends, in most of my session, I'll try to type it more. I know कि मेरी writing थोड़ी सी like out of the word रहती है. So just bear with me for a few days. Now let's move towards very important area, that is the area of South India. So we find so many sites related to your Neolithic time period from South India. So like let's just give you the list of these sites, then we'll talk about some other things. So like we have the sites in Karnataka. If we talk about the sites of Karnataka, so we have Sangankallu. It's a very important site, that is your Sangankallu. We have Hallur, that's a Neolithic sites in your Karnataka. Then we have the site of Tekkalkota. Then we have the site of Brahmagiri. We have the site of Maski. We have the site of Narsipur. These are like important Neolithic sites of your Karnataka. You cannot afford to forget them. We have the site of Piklihal. We have the site of Kodekal. We have the site of Udihal. We have the site of Kupgal. Moving forward, we have certain sites in Andhra Pradesh as well. So like in Andhra Pradesh, we have the site of Uttanur, Pallavai. Important site, guys, please focus. Pallavai. Then we have Nagarjunkonda. These are like important sites, Neolithic sites from your Andhra Pradesh. Moving forward, we have one site, Tamil Nadu, Payampalli. Important sites. Now, if we talk about like certain things related to your Neolithic sites of South India, so we have certain characteristics. First thing, the location of these Neolithic sites, they are plenty in your South India because of the abundance of rocks there. Another thing which is quite important for related to your Neolithic time period from South India, it's the presence of ash mounds. These ash mounds, they have been found at various locations, like we find the ash mounds at Utnur, we find the ash mounds at Upgal, we find the ash mounds at Kodekal, we find the ash mounds at Pallavoy. Okay, we find the ash mounds at Pallavoy, we found the ash mounds at Piklihal, we found the ash mounds at Budihal, etc. These are some important sites जहाँ से आपको ash mounds दिखते हैं, and there is like we find different kind of like those evidences of animal domestication, crop domestication, and all those kinds of evidences related to your Neolithic time period have been found from these sites. There is one more like new information to you guys, is that like these ash mounds till now related to Neolithic phase, they have been found only from Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. But pretty recently, just last year in February, a team from Madras University's Ancient History Department and Archaeological Department, basically, it found a Neolithic ash mound in your Gudiyatham. Near Gudiyatham, we had a place called Sendur Malai. This Sendur Malai, it's in Tamil Nadu, and it becomes the very first site of Tamil Nadu which gives us ash mounds. Okay, it's the very first site of Tamil Nadu which gives us ash mounds. It becomes very important for us. It's a very recent kind of development. जाते जाते आपको एक और चीज बतानी है. It's like the Neolithic sites of your North India, like we find in Gufkaral, in your Burzhum, or in Kanishkpur, some of the cultural artifacts or some of the features which we find at the Neolithic sites in your Kashmir area, they had similarity with similar Neolithic sites in Central Asia and China. Okay, so just keep this thing in your mind. Now, I have promised in the last, like the first video in the last session, I have promised this thing that I'll show you guys this wattle and daub hut. So this is your wattle and daub hut. This kind of hut has been found in India from Mesolithic time period onwards at various places from South India, from Ganga Valley, and at various places. This is your wattle and daub method. Like you first like make this that wall with the straws, and then you plaster it with mud or with cow dung or anything. Okay, so yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you guys are enjoying or you guys are revising via these videos. I'm so sorry again for the echo. You have to bear with me because uh, yeah, you have to bear it with me till your examination. Things they will get better. Now please like, share and comment on the video if you have if you found this video worthy enough for your revision. If you have any kind of suggestion, so give your suggestion. I am always open for constructive kind of suggestion. If you have any question, you can also comment below the video. Again, like video, subscribe to the channel, press the bell icon, join my Telegram channel, that is Ohm's History. You will search it, you will find it. Or you can also follow me on Instagram, Ohm's History. Okay, so that's it for this video. Let's meet in the next video. Bye bye guys.